I love how green everything is right now. It's just so pretty. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you all being here with me today. If you're not subscribed and you're watching this video now, or you've seen any one of my other videos, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're already subscribed, consider joining the channel membership for only $1 a month. It'll support the channel in the most meaningful way. I just published a members only video, an extended edit, running up to 12,000 feet. And it was in the shoes that we're talking about today. Speaking of which, we are talking about the New Balance FuelCell Summit Unknown V4. A pretty epic and awesome trail shoe, but I don't want to spoil too much. Stay tuned for more. This is my full performance review of the New Balance FuelCell Summit Unknown V4. We're going to talk about the build, the comfort, the performance, the value. We'll give it a rating from 1 to 10. Talk about all those areas. But first, voiceover Chad, why don't you tell us about the specs of the shoe? Over to you. Thanks, Chad. New Balance sent me these shoes for the purpose of review, but all thoughts and opinions are strictly my own. As for the specs, New Balance states that the FuelCell Summit Unknown V4 are made for off-road adventures. The New Balance FuelCell Summit Unknown V4 running shoe features a fuel cell midsole for energetic rebound and an aggressive lugged Hydrohesion outsole and rock stop plate for traction on wet and gnarly terrain. A booty-style upper delivers a supportive fit, while the toe protect technology keeps feet free of debris. You are looking at a synthetic mesh upper, gusseted tongue, which is faceted just below the laces. Toe protect technology helps protect feet from rocks and other debris. Rock stop plate helps protect the bottom of your feet on rocky terrain. Hydrohesion rubber outsole with an estimated 5mm lugs. A responsive yet soft fuel cell midsole foam made with about 30% bio-based renewable materials. Weighing in at only 272 grams or 9.6 ounces in a men's size. An unofficial 32mm heel, 26mm forefoot, although it feels more like 28 to 30mm in the heel. With an official 6mm drop and US MSRP of only $129.99. Chad, back over to you. Thanks, voiceover Chad. So first, we'll talk about the build of the shoe. In short, build quality is really good in this shoe. New Balance did a really nice job putting the whole package together. I think they thought through all the right details to make a good and fun trail shoe. So at this point, I've put in some decent miles in the shoe. I've done an 11-mile trail run out here. I've got the run that I'm in the middle of today, a nice long run, should be about 20 miles. And I've done 2 other 22-mile trail runs. One was out here and another one was up to the base of Long's Peak, Colorado's northernmost 14er. That run was really, really epic, kind of gnarly, super technical and rocky terrain. Just really did well as a test for this shoe. And I gotta say, the shoe performed really, really well. I've got a video that I published last week that you can check out. So look up my video, running to 12,000 feet. You won't be disappointed, at least if you like trail running. Anyways, let's talk about the shoe a bit more. So build quality, just really, really pleased. There's been, after 75 miles in this shoe, no quality concerns, no premature wear or otherwise. So I feel like New Balance did a good job with the outsole just the material seems to be pretty durable, but also grippy. The midsole, I feel like, is gonna last a long time. Provides a balance of cushion and responsiveness. Make the shoe feel lively, but also never fatiguing underfoot. You've also got a rock plate in there, which is really nice. It's been super handy to have that to protect the forefoot a bit more on those really rocky terrain. So appreciate that a lot. Upper's holding out just fine. It's pretty durable and really no complaints. The tongue is pretty comfortable, lightly padded, not overly plush, but I don't think it needs to be in this shoe. Laces are comfortable, lockdown feel good. I'm gonna give the overall build a 9 out of 10. Really the only reason for not doing a 10 out of 10 is because I feel like while the tongue is fully gusseted, it's gusseted just below the laces, right in here. And I feel like if they actually had a full gusset that went down around the side of the foot, then that would add to the overall build of the shoe. But at the same time, it's not necessarily necessary. 9 out of 10 build quality, that's really good. By the way, all the B-roll footage that you're seeing was recorded after this run. So you're seeing the shoe in its current state after 75 miles. Okay, let's talk about the comfort of the shoe now. Very pleased with the overall comfort. The shoe fits more on the narrow performance side, which for my foot I like a lot. The heel I feel like is pretty secure. There's some nice padding along the ankle and Achilles, which is nice. I do feel like on the back of the shoe, the Achilles flare right here maybe comes up a little higher than what is necessary. And at first I felt it on the back of my Achilles, but I don't really feel it anymore. And it was never ever an issue, nor have I gotten any wear or blisters, no hot spots at all, actually anywhere in the shoe. The midfoot feels pretty secure, more of a narrow fit, more of a that performance oriented type fit. And there's enough room in the toe box. This is definitely not a wide shoe or a wide toe box shoe. Definitely, like I was saying, more narrow fitting. They do offer, however, a wide version of this shoe, which is a nice option if you feel like you need that. So I really like the overall comfort of the upper. Again, I've taken this shoe out on a couple really long runs and I never felt like I needed more comfort. It always just did what it needed to do and my foot felt great. No hot spots, no blisters. It's just really nice and offers a pretty good lockdown feel that's secure but comfortable at the same time. I hope I'm making sense here. I also like that since the tongue is gusseted, it's not moving around on you, and that just helps add to the overall comfort. The laces are nice and kind of a flat design, so they lay across your foot nicely. As for that FuelCell midsole, ooh, New Balance, you did really good. The midsole doesn't seem to be the same super critical bouncy type of FuelCell material that they put in their road shoes, like the Propel V4 or the Rebel V3, which, by the way, review coming soon, so make sure you're subscribed. But for the trails, I feel like the FuelCell foam that they did use works great. It's got a really good mix of being both soft and cushioned, but also responsive and lively. And I feel like the midsole is gonna last a pretty long time in this shoe as well. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if other shoe reviewers say that they wouldn't use this shoe for a long run or an ultra because it's got only 30 millimeters of stack in the heel, which in today's standards isn't that much. But honestly, in my experience, and I think if you also have a strong foot, this shoe will do just perfectly fine. In fact, I wouldn't hesitate to use this shoe in an ultra. So overall comfort score, I'm gonna give a rating of 9 out of 10. That's pretty good. The only reason for a dock of 1 point on the comfort is because I feel like if the tongue was fully gusseted with fabric going around on both the medial and lateral side of the shoe, it would add to that comfort. Not to say again that it's a problem at all in this shoe, because it's not, but I think that just would add to the overall lockdown feel and general comfort around the foot. Oh, I forgot too, the rock plate, that does add comfort on technical trails like this one, so that's also a major plus. Oh, so pretty out here. Actually, one of my long runs that I took this shoe in, there's a road out there that goes up to those houses, and I ran all the way up to that peak, ran along the ridge up to that peak, and about to that peak before I dropped back down to the trail. It was a pretty awesome run. So busy talking, I almost forgot to eat something. Let's eat something. By the way, check out my affiliate link in the description or pinned comment below. You can get gels like this, the SIS gel, Spring Energy, and more, either in bulk or individually at the feed. So check out my link. Helps give me a little bit of street cred. Okay, which way do I want to go? Difficult or less difficult? Let's go difficult. If you've got any questions about this shoe, go ahead and ask them down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to take a look and answer that. It's terrain like this where I really appreciate the rock plate and those pretty gnarly lugs on the outsole. All right, now let's talk about the performance of the shoe. You know, one of the qualitative measurements that I use to kind of gauge the performance of the shoe is whether I tend to want to grab the shoe, get my feet in it, and take it out for a run. And New Balance, you have done a great job on this shoe. I found myself wanting to go running in this shoe. I just love how it feels, how it performs. There's really nothing to complain about. I just feel good in this shoe. I feel fast, I feel comfortable, I feel confident. And that's probably the biggest thing about the shoe. You feel confident with that outsole grip. You feel comfortable with however they designed that midsole, protective underfoot with that rock plate. And you feel like you could run fast. In fact, the first time I took this shoe out, I ran my typical lollipop trail in the fastest time I'd ever run. But I also found I just didn't have to think about the shoe much. In fact, the only time I was thinking about the shoe was when I was thinking about how good the shoe is. The outsole performance is very nice. It grips onto rocks and roots and loose terrain and mud and dirt and gravel really well. The lug pattern is spread out enough that it works really well in looser terrain. Only caveat, not a complaint, just more something noticed, is that the outsole is showing some wear, but I've taken on some really gnarly terrain, so I can't fault the outsole at all. And I think overall it'll still last a long time. Those 5mm lugs do a really good job. I do wish that maybe there was a few more like micro lugs or micro grippers on the outsole. I think that would help add to the overall grip, but again, never really an issue on the outsole. It's confidence inspiring. Never felt like I didn't have enough traction. I would say the rubber is on par with Puma grip, Puma's outsole, and almost as good as Adidas Continental rubber. That midsole feels really nice. It's soft and responsive. No complaints at all with the midsole. Yeah, only 30 to 30 millimeters of sack in the heel, but I don't think for a performance-oriented shoe, you don't really, in my opinion, necessarily need more. And I appreciate the slightly lower stack because it helps provide good ground feel. And so I'm able to adapt and adjust my foot based on what is felt underfoot at that moment. So that adds to the performance as well. And then of course the rock plate helps keep your forefoot extra protected, especially on really gnarly terrain like this. And the upper performance is also really nice. I feel like it locks down your foot well, but still remains comfortable. There's good padding around the ankle, not too much, but enough to keep things comfortable, but also remain overall lightweight. The shoe weighs in at about 272 grams, which for trail shoe, with all the features that this has, that's pretty lightweight. There are competitor shoes that advertise a similar weight. So regardless of what the stats say, it just feels fast, nimble, protective, and fun. So, overall performance rating, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. That's really good. And on par with my other favorite shoe, the Adidas Terex Speed Ultra, which I've used in all of my ultra races so far. The reason for a dock in points is because the shoe doesn't shed water very well at all. Actually, on one of my runs in the shoe, I was running through the grass and the weeds, and they had a lot of dew on them, and my shoe ended up getting pretty soaked on my Long's Peak run, running up to 12,000 feet. In that video, I was running in the snow in pretty wet condition. Never submerged the shoe completely in water, but there was definitely some wet conditions, and there's something about the shoe that it just doesn't shed water very well. It wants to hold on to and retain that water. Something about the upper and the sock liner just holds on to the water a little bit more than I feel like it should. So that's my only complaint when it comes to the performance of the shoe. It's just not shedding water. Wow, holy cow. Okay, check this out. This is beautiful. That there is called the Devil's Backbone. It's just right outside on the west side of Loveland, Colorado. So cool how those rocks kind of protrude out of the mountain there. I think we're gonna run down the trail here and then go run along the Devil's Backbone for a bit, and then we'll turn around and come back. Oh, it's just beautiful out here though. And you got the mountains and all the greenery. Ah, I love it. This red Colorado rock trail, just wonderful. And even better because I have these awesome shoes on. And last item of business, the value. I would put the value of this shoe at $130 US MSRP, also at a 9 out of 10. Now, if it were $120, it would be probably a 10 out of 10. Just overall, a great value. I feel like you're getting a lot of shoe, a lot of thought out, quality build, performance oriented shoe that you're getting just a good value overall. I mean, they could have priced the shoe at $140, even $150 and have been competitive, but I'm glad, New Balance, I'm glad you didn't. $130 is a great buy for this shoe, and I would definitely recommend it. Last thing to add before I wrap up this video, I would order and recommend buying true to size. I wear a men's 9.5, went with a 9.5 in this shoe. Fits spot on. I would not change the size at all. I don't feel like the length is too long or too short. Just enough performance oriented room for my toes. Nice feel, a lockdown in the midfoot, and the heel, just overall fit is perfect. Again, for a slightly more performance oriented shoe, but I'm gonna use this as my daily trail shoe. Let's be honest, it is just so much fun. Such a great shoe to run in. technical trails there. Okay, I guess that's it that I have for this review. I hope I didn't forget anything. Again, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be sure to check that out and answer. And make sure you're subscribed. I've got a lot of reviews coming up. The New Balance FuelCell Propel V4, the Rebel V3, both great shoes. Can't wait to get the full performance reviews out for those. I'll also be getting some Solomon gear, so stay tuned for that. And a new Nathan hydration vest, as well as doing a headphone giveaway. So yeah, subscribe, hit the bell if you want, give the video a like. Those help the algorithm. And yeah, I guess that's it. Okay, thank you for being here. This is such a wonderful day. Glad you could join me. I'll see you guys on the next video. Remember to be consistent, express gratitude, and enjoy every mile, because that's what I'm doing today. See you on the next one. Bye now. I made it to the keyhole in just about 10 miles, so almost time to turn around and head on back home. Oh, beautiful.